Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go through the SWHTTP server service, the impact it has on SupportWorks, where the log files for this service are stored, and how you can keep them to an optimal size to prevent performance issues. Now, the screen we're on right now is the Windows Services panel, and the services are listed here, although some of these services are on the SupportWorks server configuration panel. The SWHTTP server service and the SWSQL server service are not listed there. That's because they are part of the core services, whereas the rest of the services are installed when you install SupportWorks server. So when you install core services, these two services will be listed first before the others come about. SupportWorks uses the web server for many operations. For example, you can use it when logging in, when displaying the SupportWorks Today page. Rather than just talking about it, I'll just show you right now. The SWHTTP server service is not running at the moment. So when I try and log in, I get an error message which says unable to connect to the web server. That's because I need the web server to be able to log in. When I start the HTTP server service, I should be able to log in the second time around. Another thing that's controlled by the web server is the SupportWorks Today page. Now this SupportWorks Today page shows you things like service availability, reported problems, change schedule, and summary reports. The summary reports include the service desk metrics, which are listed here on both tabs. That's not the only place where the web server is used. If, for example, you search for a customer, the preview of calls that belong to the customer that you see here is controlled by the web server. When you do a knowledge-based search, for example, when you search for a text such as article and you get your results, the preview is controlled by the web server here. There are many other areas that use the web server, for example, the business process management, the management and information reporting, even the emails and the dashboard and trending, they all use the web server. Now, every time you access the application, there are 4 log files that are written to, in some cases 3. Like, for example, you have the access, secure access, and the error log are being written to today, the 17th of June. But for some reason, the secure error log was last written to in 2013, so it's not current. I would go with these 3 as being the latest files I need to look at in case something goes wrong, or in case I need to investigate an issue, or in case I need to track how a report failed to return the results that I was expecting. Right now, these logs aren't very big, 421K, for example, but over time, say for example, you've been using SupportWorks for 3-4 years, doing the same operations all the time, like running reports, checking your emails, and so on and so forth, the logs tend to grow. Sometimes they can even reach 1 gig or 2 gigs. I've even seen 3 gigabytes worth of access log. In such a case, when something goes wrong and as support we ask you for the access log, we won't be able to open it because of its sheer size. There's nothing in place at the moment to archive these log files automatically, but we do hope to have something in place in the future. But for now, what you can do is go to the HTTP conf file, which is located in the HTTP conf file. Yeah, there it is. It's located in the program files home build core services SWHTTP server conf directory. Before you make any changes, make sure you take a backup of the original. So there's my backup there. You can give it today's date if you like. When you open this file, I'll use, for example, a notepad. There are a few lines that you can change so that your logs are archived automatically when they reach a certain threshold, which in my case is going to be 50 megabytes. The first line to look for is called error log space logs. I found that here, all I need to do is comment this line out and add another line which says, so you bring in a line which says something like error log bin rotate logs/error.log 50 megabytes, which means when the error log reaches 50 megabytes, a new file will be created, and you won't have that problem of the files exceeding a certain size, like or even reaching 1 gig. So that's just one of the lines, but because for the purpose of this test, I'm not going to reach 250 megabytes, I'll just say for testing purposes, let me make it 250 kilobytes. The next line I'll look for is error logs/secure error underscore log. I'll do the same thing, comment that line out, and paste in a new line. The new line I've added is error log inverted commas bin rotate logs, so on and so forth. Again, instead of 250 megabytes, I'll put 250 kilobytes. That's something more realistic that I can reach in this test. The next line to look for is custom log, secure access log common. Once again, you comment that line out and you add in a new line. The new line you need to add is custom log bin rotate logs secure access.log 250 kilobytes common. Finally, you need to look for one more line. You need to look for the custom log logs access.log common and replace that one with custom log bin rotate logs /access.log 250 kilobytes common. Once you've done all that, you would need to save the HTTP conf file. That just overwrites what was there originally, and you need to restart the SWHTTP server service. After restarting the HTTP server service, just by going to the log folder, I can see that my error.log has been split up. From the original error.log, I get another one which says error.log and has some digits afterwards. Now these digits are the Unix timestamp telling you the time and the date that this extra log file was created. So whatever is happening here is that, what's happening here is that because I've exceeded my 250 kilobytes, new log files are being created beneath the original log files. So the original log files have nothing else being written to them, but everything else that's happening in the system will be recorded in the new log files that are coming up. So I hope this video has helped you learn how you can keep your web server logs to an acceptable level to prevent things like high CPU usage and other performance related issues. Thank you.